Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This will be episode 101 of Franco's World. Today's guest, you know him, you love him. His episode probably has the highest ratings of all my episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dan Carney. What's up, bud?
Nobody loves me, including myself. I think that I'm well hated and it's well deserved. But thank you for having me, Franklin. This was a horrible decision on your part.
No, honestly, it's a great decision on my part, like marketing wise, because I don't know if you noticed this, and I'm sure you haven't, but every now and again, like I'll go back and check my YouTube videos. All my YouTube videos do poorly, but for yours, for some reason, it has like I think like 700 views, and like some guy commented on it and said, "I'm giving you both 15 minutes. Be funny." And I was like, and I didn't comment back. I was like, "Sheesh."
Yeah, that was my mom.
Oh,
that was my mother. Yeah.
she seems like
she's very hard on me.
yeah. Well, she only wants the best for you, and I want the best for you, and I want you to be happy. You say you're going through it right now, man. What's going on?
Here's the thing: she does not want the best for me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She wants the best for you.
Well, yeah, that's because I treat her right.
Well, you probably do. You probably do. Um, my mom is a very funny woman. You know,
Mhm.
she's very funny. I don't know how much confidence she has in me as like a person. Like I was in Texas during the snowstorm and we lost heat and power and I'm texting my mom about it and she goes, "Okay, well, whatever you do, don't sit in the garage in your car with the engine running and the garage door closed." I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wasn't going to commit suicide today." That wasn't on the agenda. What a ridiculous thing to say. Like, do you have like that little confidence in me that you're just like that this guy's gonna like accidentally, like intentionally kill himself?
Yeah.
That's like if I was texting her and I was like, "Yeah, like I'm hungry." She'd be like, "All right, well, whatever you do, don't bring the toaster with you into the bathtub." It's like, yeah, I know not to do that.
Oh man, your mom sounds like a sweetheart. She, like I
She's a
said, she
lovely
just wants the
lady.
best for you.
She's a lovely lady, you know. It's very fun, you know. I moved back in with my parents this year because things were going well for me,
Right.
and I it's the funny thing about it is like I'll lie to people about it. I'll lie to my friends. I would lie to them. They'll
Oh
be
yeah.
like, "What are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm living with my parents," and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just good to reconnect." I don't give a shit. And they don't care either. Like we had no decorations in my house growing up, but when I got back there, my mom has like now all this like live, laugh, love bullshit. Like she's trying to turn our house into like an Airbnb for like the kids she'd rather have living there. And like now, like there's a picture in my bathroom, childhood bathroom, that says "Don't quit your daydream." It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I was like, I used to get in trouble for daydreaming. I remember one time my mom threw a phone at me. She was like, "Stop daydreaming." It's true. I was sitting there. I was 11. I was playing with my eyebrow, and all of a sudden, a fucking phone hits me. I look at her. I was like, "What was that?" And she goes, "Oh, I hate it when you do that." I was like, "What? If we've been married for the last 30 years? It makes no sense."
What's Dad think about all this?
Dad misses Iraq.
Yeah, I'm sure it was nice this time of
Yeah,
year over there.
yeah, it's beautiful. He didn't even serve. He just would go.
Yeah, they more sort of like an independent contractor type of guy.
My dad loves to golf.
Yeah.
I love my parents. I'm actually very close with my family, but they're crazy and they're out of their minds. And I would rather them be nuts than vanilla. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Is your
Um,
is your dad
but they're white. I don't want to
Dan? Your
give the
your name
impression
is
that they're
Dan.
not
Your name
vanilla.
is Dan Carney. I think they know your parents are white.
You know, someone once told me, and this is one of the most honest things that's anyone's ever told me is they go, "Dan, you're white, but no one's gonna think you're from Connecticut."
You know what? That's pretty good.
You know,
But you are from Florida.
that's what I'm saying. I'm from Tampa, Florida, and my parents are from Philadelphia. I am like bred to be white trash.
So where like in Tampa, Florida, you have like these Pink Flamingo Lagoon crock pit type strip bars and stuff like that. Are those like your frequent watering holes? Like what's your go-to bar in Tampa?
So I'm not a big strip club guy. I did get COVID at a strip club,
Yeah.
but that's only because I was trying to support small businesses.
Right.
Her name is Crystal, and she's a dancer in Tampa. But No, not really a big strip club guy whatsoever. I think they're a waste of money.
Hmm.
I don't really have fun going there. Frequent spots. Um, I mean, I don't know if you would know them, but like there's some cool places by like you. There's a lot of cool bars and like harbors.
Hmm.
You know, there's a place called Harbor Island, and it's like a bunch of fucking boats and shit. Like the Suez Canal thing
Hmm.
when the boat was stuck there.
Yeah.
That's like I have friends that's like their wet dream is to get like stuck on a boat somewhere.
I
You know what
just
I
don't
mean?
mess with the water, bro. A water's undefeated. I don't mess with the water.
Yeah, well, the water will mess with you. I will say it is fun as fuck going out there on a boat, and especially like there's been a couple of times where I've gone out with some friends, and the water just gets super choppy. It's like Poseidon type shit.
That's
Give
fun.
me that.
That's fun to
Give
you.
me that. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 That's a blast. That's a good time.
I would be
I want to
so
know that.
sick.
I want to know that there's some stakes.
So
Like I'm screaming at the sky like Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump.
I watched that movie the other day, man.
Yeah.
That guy was a crazy person.
Yeah. I'm Gary Sinise in Forrest Gump. That's me.
Dude, whenever he's like making out with that, like they're making out with those like strippers or whatever,
Yeah.
and then
Well, those are nice women. Those are classy women.
and then he like falls out of the chair and they just like laugh at him and he's like he hates Forrest the whole time he meets him. Like he's sitting there, bump on a log at the New Year's party, and then they're making out with these hookers back at the hotel, and then all of a sudden one of them calls him stupid, and now Lieutenant Dan
You don't
decides
call him
to
stupid.
step out. Now.
You don't call him stupid.
Does your dad, being a military guy, does he like that movie?
My dad is Lieutenant Dan. Who do you think I was named after?
And you're Forrest.
I was named after Lieutenant Dan.
No, but you act like Forrest.
My name is Dan. Oh, I act like Forrest. Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I what does he think about that movie? I don't know. I've never watched that movie with him. That's the movie I've seen the most times.
Yeah.
Is Forrest Gump. I used to my grandma lived across the street from me as a kid, and she lives across the street from my parents' house, and I would go there a lot when I was growing up, and she owned Forrest Gump on DVD, and I would just watch that shit all the time.
All day.
Every single time I was there, I'd throw in Forrest Gump.
Wow.
I've seen it. I mean, I've been to my grandma's house obviously more than 20 times, but I've seen that movie probably like 30 times.
My dad absolutely loves that movie because he was a veteran guy as well at the tail end of Vietnam. So he likes the whole where they're talking about the controversy of going to war or not going to war, people not being welcome back and all that stuff. I don't know if he likes it because he's like, man, we should have like stayed over there and like just kept fighting. I don't know what his thoughts are, but he loves that movie.
Your parents older?
Yeah, they're both in their 60s, like mid 60s.
You have my parents are older energy.
That makes sense, though.
You know?
Yeah. What do you think? I'm like a refined.
You can always tell.
Is it because I'm a refined person, or what is it? Is it my interests?
Are you an only child too?
No, I have an older sister.
You have an older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this rounds you out as a person. I'm learning more about you.
Yeah, do you have like documents over there, and you're like You're like a.
I'm writing some of this down.
Yeah.
In terms of so your dad fought in Vietnam and he's only in his 60s.
Tail end. He showed up to Korea during Vietnam, and then like they're like, hey, it's over. It's like that.
My dad fought in the Iraq War. He's a hero. You should salute him.
I was in Boy Scouts. I guess this is the Boy Scouts. Well, people, never mind. We're not doing video. I look stupid. All right, never mind.
My dad was a cab driver for the Iraqi army, the Iraqi military.
Wow, shukran,
Yeah.
Shukran to your father. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, he fought hard. He drove Bin Laden to the cave that he hid out in. That was what my dad's contribution.
The thing
and he never gave him up either. Never gave him up.
I like that. Your dad's not a snitch. The thing about growing up in like West Virginia during the Iraq wartime, this absolutely terrified me. I was like, it kept me up at night because like you see this terrorist attack, and you're like, oh my god, this is terrifying.
No one's bombing West Virginia. That's the best possible thing that could happen to that.
Oh, it was great hiding out in the woods, but according to West Virginians, because we live like near like power plants and like all these companies that like just poison our water supply, we think they're important. Like we always have it in our mind, like, oh, we're on that list. We're like 5th or 6th on that list. That like there was a rumor going around that during like the Cold War, someone stole plans that the Russians had, and like Parkersburg, West Virginia was like 6th on the bombing list. Like they just set it up like that. So going through like the Iraq War, people always had like this fear that West Virginia is going to get attacked. You know, the Al Qaeda is going to take time out of their day to just mow us over real quick. And so, what people did for propaganda in West Virginia was they put wanted signs for Osama bin Laden in everyone's mailbox, and it said "wanted, dead or alive," Osama bin Laden, like terrorist and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is everyone in West Virginia looks like a white bin Laden, and especially and they work in those coal mines. You come out, you don't know.
Dude, they do look like that. Oh my god,
It's so funny. It's like all those people are like, "Wait, we get the terrorists." I'm like, "You look like
you
them.
look like the terrorist,
You've adopted their look."
dude. Oh my gosh.
I just finished the show, the Americans. Speaking of the Cold War, you ever seen that show?
No, I wanted to. I want to get into it because I love that whole intrigue about like what could have happened. Like I love to watch alternate history and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not so much alternate history. It's this couple that they're like KGB spies, and they live in America. They're deep undercover, and like their marriage is arranged. You know, they have kids together. They have like a fake business, and they have they live across the street from an FBI agent, and they kill people together. And I think that that's beautiful, and I want a relationship like that. My best case relationship for me is like an arranged marriage situation where we are forced to spy on our neighbors,
Okay.
and conduct missions and take hits out on people.
So are you so
That's the only way I'll ever have a successful relationship.
and I can see that working out for you, you know. But do you want it to be like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of relationship, you know? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think of the Mr. and Mrs. Carney version of that.
A lot
I
of
mean, it's a lot-
Jameson.
it's
There'd
a-
be a lot of Jameson. A lot of Jameson.
It'd be a lot of It'd be a lot of arguing.
A lot of yelling. Yeah.
It'd be like if she'd see me in the field like unexpectedly, like they do in Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Mhm.
but like my hip has like popped out of place, and I'm like, I gotta like take 5. She's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I forgot to ice my hip.
Honestly, I think I want an arranged marriage at this point. I do want an arranged marriage at this point because
I'll take that.
I really feel like the success rate of those are like pretty high. I feel like these kids, they have arranged marriages when they're younger, but they're arranged by their parents who are significantly smarter than them, more intelligent than them. They know what's best for the kids. This guy's going to do this. Here's his family background. You know, his family has no disease. There's no cancer in his family. So they're really just
Well, here's why arranged marriages work is because it feels like a job, right? It feels like something you actually have to work out. I feel like if you marry like someone you know, like your decision, it's like, well, I know this person, so I could just go fuck them. You know what I mean? Like they can go fuck themselves. Like they feel more comfortable being like, all right, I know you, and you didn't do this for me, and blah, where it's not working out. But like an arranged marriage, it's like, this is a job. You got to make it work. There's some pressure there. You don't know each other.
I like it. And then when you
people
die,
maybe-
it's like your retirement party. It's great. Just clock out.
Yeah, exactly. You're just trying to get to the end of the death.
Yeah, that's great. Dude, the thing about like all these like marriages and relationships, how many marriages do you think are just like started because people are young and they're like, hey, we have great sex and we're both hot. Like, let's just get married. And then like they just end up in this soul sucking marriage.
I think that's like all of
That's all of marriage?
or a lot of marriages. I don't know. Like that's like a relationship like out of lust, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I'm a comic, so like I have like massive intimacy issues where like I don't love myself.
Right.
So like how am I gonna like appreciate like another person? Like there's a reason I go and do stand up every night. It's not because I'm happy and am okay with going to brunch on like a Saturday. If I go to brunch on like a Saturday, which is a lot of fucking fun, I love it. But if it's with someone that like I really don't know, or like I'm going on a Hinge date, I'm like super anxious, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Right.
This person, like, are they going to understand comedy or this? Which I don't even understand comedy. Comedy sucks. Who wants to understand comedy?
And no one,
it's
first of all, and then they also don't care.
and if they like
don't
comedy,
care.
that's the biggest turnoff. If I'm going out with someone they're like, yeah, I love comedy, I'm like, we can never see each other ever again.
Yeah.
Like we just never can. Like I think that's like every time like I'm on Hinge and they're like, I love comedy, and it's like all the girls who like me on Hinge are like, I love John Mulaney.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, I'll get messages. They're like, you kind of have like ginger John Mulaney vibes. I'm like, I do not at all. Like I look nothing like him. we're just white.
Yeah.
We're just white. I'm like, that's it. That's literally it. But that's what they want. They're like, I love John. I went out with a girl who had a John Mulaney poster in her apartment, and I saw that. I was like, we have to stop seeing each other right now. It could be any. By the way, it's not just John Mulaney. It could be any comedian.
Yeah.
But like, that's just too much. I want someone who's like, I don't even think.
What if she's like, I love Dice. I'm a big Andrew Dice Clay fan.
I don't want any. If they know who Andrew Dice is, I'm moving to a different state. Do you understand? That's the most ridiculous. I'd rather than be like, I'm not a big fan of stand-up. Yours is whatever. Let's just eat bagels and fuck. I don't know. Like, that's a better arrangement to me.
Dude.
You know, like, I've dated girls that, like, they've seen me do stand-up and they're like, whatever about it.
Yeah.
You know, they're just clearly just being supportive of me. And I'm like, that's what I want. I don't want you to be like, now, I've never dated someone who's like, your tag on the end of the show. It's like, I don't want them to start bringing up, this is what John Mulaney, like, no, fuck that. I don't want it. I don't want that. It's disgusting. I went out with this Mormon girl accidentally, and I'd rather have that. I'd rather find out you're Mormon during the date than find out you like comedy.
Did you guys soak at the end of the night?
Did we soak?
Yeah.
What is soaking? I've heard of this.
You don't know soaking? Oh my God. This is so great. I get to reveal this information to you. So soaking is whenever, there's insertion, but there's no thrusting. Okay. And so
I have heard of soaking.
But if you got a
Mormons,
homie,
they soak.
I would do this for you. Here's how good of a friend I am to you. You get a homie that hides underneath the bed and just starts kicking it with his feet to create the motion for you. I would do that for you.
Oh my! This is a real thing.
This is a real thing, man. I think it's called oh my gosh, what are they had a name for it. It had really good alliteration. I don't remember it. I wish I remembered. I'm sorry.
Is there like soaking porn? Can I look this up later?
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, I don't know.
There's porn for everything.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Also, Mormons will Provo, out there in Utah and everything, not terribly far.
I've been there.
Not terribly far from Vegas. So what they do is, to a couple college kids, they're horned up. They're like, hey, what do we do? Drive to Vegas, elope, hook up, get it annulled, and then go back to Utah. That's what, they have to go through that whole process just for mediocre.
That's gangsters fuck, though. The Mormons who do that, I have more respect for any other religion. You get married, fuck, divorced, all in one trip.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
They're legit, bro.
Yeah, if you find a woman to do that with you, honestly, you might as well just marry her.
Yeah, that's honestly a good point.
You know what I mean?
Just marry her.
Because that's a down.
You could do what the Christians do. You could do what the Christians do, and I know what the Christians do because my father's a pastor. I grew up in the church. So what the Christians do is they get married at 20. Just because they want to have sex, like they get married to the first person they see on college campus or the first person that actually looks at them, and they get married just so they can have sex. And then they just end up having a terrible marriage and never getting divorced because, God wouldn't like that and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, Christians, they just fuck anyway and feel guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, I mean, I grew up Catholic. Catholicism it's almost like rude. It's almost like mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just such like a guilt-based religion.
Right.
Everything you do is, how dare you? I grew up so much guilt. I have so much guilt. Like that's probably why I'm Irish Catholic. So everything
double
is
guilt. Yeah.
Double guilt. My mom. So you don't love us. You don't do that. You don't know. How dare you? I come back. She comes home like our house is a little bit dirty. I'm like 8. She's like, you're a piece of shit. You don't have it. You would do this to spite me.
And then cracks open the wine.
My parents were never really big drinkers.
Yeah.
Alcohol, but I do have family members.
Alcohol's the devil in my house growing up.
I do have family members. I mean, I'm Irish Catholic, so like I have family members they open that bottle of wine and they get in that chair.
Yeah.
And you know what chair I'm talking
I know
about.
it, and it's probably it probably has it's not a leather chair. It's not a leather chair.
No. It's like a floral pattern, not even a floral pattern, but it looks like something.
It's like
that would be in
almost,
like a living room in like the 70s.
Almost plaid. And,
yeah,
and
like an obnoxious pattern that really doesn't match anything else in the house.
Absolutely.
And that's that same chair she's getting up in the next morning.
And she's probably going to die in that chair. And what they do is they wear their turtlenecks, their Green Bay Packers turtlenecks or whatever, and they kick their feet up and they watch a football game on Sunday, and that's their life.
Well, I mean, yes. Well, I'm trying to. The women in my family do it. They said they just wear blankets.
Oh, blankets.
Just they just blanket up, and then that box of wine comes out.
And then you know what?
It's not going back until it's finished.
The crock pot is full in the kitchen, by the way, of just some disgusting soup that you're going to eat for 3 days.
Yeah, but I mean, I grew up in like a really small town. I grew up actually like on the streets. I didn't have a pair. People don't know this. I didn't have a pair of shoes till I was 9 years old.
Dang.
Yeah. So like we'd eat bone broth throughout the week. There was one night where I hadn't eaten all day, and I just went outside and I nibbled on some grass.
Yeah.
Like legit, I was out there grazing like a cow.
Yeah.
And no shoes, no socks.
You're like a feral child. You're just a child from the wild.
Yeah, I was like kind of like a feral child. And I had like this big brown woolen jacket, like hoodie type thing. And I didn't have any pants. So I would walk around wearing that with no socks or shoes, and sometimes just go into the backyard and just picking up dirt and throwing it in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, dirt's full of electrolytes, so that's probably how you got so physically fit.
This is one of the towns in the country with the lowest electrolyte count in their dirt.
Wow.
So I was constantly dehydrated, and the dirt just made me more thirsty.
This is something, reminding me of, these are the stories. These are the stories that never make it to air. And you know why? It's because you're white. They don't care. They don't care because you're a white guy.
Well, I didn't even know I was white until I was 14.
How'd you find out?
Because we didn't own mirrors.
Right.
We couldn't afford a mirror.
How'd you find out though?
I didn't know how to read until I was 17. So once I started learning how to read, I was like, okay, I think I might be white. Because I didn't know what white was, and then someone was like, "This is what a white guy looks like," and I looked at him, and like there was a little description underneath that said this white guy. I was like, oh, this guy looks like me.
I thought the origin story was that you read Harry Potter, and you're like, hey, white people like this book, and I like this book. I think I might be a white guy.
No, I didn't learn how to read until I was 27.
Okay.
And I didn't hear about Harry Potter until last year. And I'm 25 now.
Yeah. Back to the future scenario. Dude, the crazy thing, I want to go back to the relationship talk just because you're so full of wisdom. I don't know why it's a worry to me because I'll never be in a loving relationship, but like if I were in a relationship with somebody and they like happen to cheat on me, I probably would never recover from that mentally. And so I put it out there in the universe that, hey, this girl has a boyfriend and she's texting me late night. I'm not going to flirt. I'm just going to keep it very friendly, very casual, and then leave the conversation. And so I'm hoping that the universe will be kind to me in the future. This was very philosophical.
I think you should have talked to.
Yeah.
I think you did the right thing, man.
Thank you.
I think you did the right thing. And a lot of people would have tried to would have persisted. I've never cheated on anyone before.
But have you been the cheat? Have you been the cheatee?
Have I been the cheatee? I don't think so. If I have been,
you've never gotten with a girl with a boyfriend.
I've never gotten with a girl with a boyfriend. There was one. Actually, that's not true.
Yeah.
Well, it is true. But there's this one. It's when I first got to college. I still think about this girl. I'm like, damn, we could have been some.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You ever think about someone like a girl, and you're looking back, you're like, damn, like, what if things just worked out and we were still dating?
I think about that.
Because this girl, she's posting on like Instagram all the time. She's like in like Mexico. She's like from the Bahamas.
Oh wow.
So she just like, I could have been in the Bahamas, dude, for COVID. I could have been in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Instead
Just
of
losing my hair there.
Yeah.
Instead of, Austin, Texas, where I live now, and I got to wear a cowboy hat to cover up my receding hairline.
Hey, cowboy hat's not a bad look. I wore a little bit of Western influence clothing yesterday. Looked like the concrete cowboy out here in New York.
But you could pull nice the concrete cowboy. I like that. And but you could pull it off.
I guess.
Me, I'm like, you see that, you're like, the thumbs up.
No way, bro. I think you could pull it off because like you're more fair skinned than I am. I think when people think cowboys, they think white guys. I don't think they think people like me.
I think what was I saying?
We're talking about cowboys.
Oh yes, cowboys. But before this, have I ever been the cheaty? There was one time where it was in college, and like there's this girl that I was kind of talking to. Like I met her out, right? It was me and some friends. We went out and we went to like some pregame or something, some party, and we met up with these girls. And one of the girls there, I was like really clicking and getting along with. And apparently so was one of my other friends, right?
Right.
So like we're kind of talking about it, whatever. I'm like, it was so early in the night. I was like, you know what? You go for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we're still like, me and this girl's still getting along.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like he went home with her that night, right? And they started seeing each other a little bit, I think. it became like a little bit of a thing. Not exclusive.
Yeah.
Right?
Casual.
And then like I kind of lost touch with this guy a little bit, like, and the girl a little bit too. I didn't really see him for a while, but I'd see the guy every now and then, and we'd dap each other up, kick it, talk for a little bit. And then there was, and we were like, it was one of my first friends I made in college, right?
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like very first people you meet and kind of start hanging out with.
I'm still friends with some of those people. Pretty good relationship.
So am I.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they're like power. I think I still have them on social media or something. But some other people I'm very good friends with that would like met early on. But this guy, anyway, you start seeing this girl. I see this girl out at a bar like a couple months later, right? She's being very flirty, whatever. Like, I don't really know the situation if she's still with him or not. But like at the moment, but then she mentioned something like how she saw this guy at the bar and wanted to avoid him. And I was like, okay, maybe there's still some going on, whatever. And but I went home with her that night regardless. And then she was like, oh, I feel bad. And I was like, what's up? She was like, I still kind of a thing with this guy a little bit. And I'm like, oh, I didn't really know, but I kind of knew, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I didn't know, but I wasn't being like too much like, is this an exclusive thing?
Yeah.
Are you guys still dating? Like, cause I was just like, oh, maybe this is done, but I felt horrible about it.
The only cheating scenario that I know for a fact that I was involved in, happened in college.
This guy and I talked about it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. We talked about it because he hit me up about it. He wasn't like, dude, what the fuck you or anything. He was like, hey, I heard about it. Just want to let you know, I'm not mad. I'm more disappointed in her. He was like, you didn't really know. And I was like, damn, I feel so much worse than if like,
because he's a nice guy about it. Yeah.
He was like the nicest guy. We were still friends afterwards. Yeah. I mean, they were never dating like boyfriend, girlfriend.
But yeah,
but it was a thing where I think he maybe really liked her. I felt horrible about it. That's the closest I've ever come to like being in that scenario.
Right.
And I don't think I will ever do that since.
I had a scenario in college. So I was at this bar called The Back Door. It was not a gay bar, for those asking. It was at a bar called The Back Door. And this girl, she looked vaguely familiar. I guess I looked familiar to her. And she came over to me and she said, did we go to church camp together as kids? And I said, I have no idea. I was 8 years old. And then that progressed into, okay, we do know each other. Then that progressed into, we have mutual friends. Then that progressed into, hey, can I try on your glasses? And I said, no, I need these to see, because girls always ask to try on my glasses. That's not like
the glasses is probably a great way a great conversation starter.
That's always like a flirty thing girls do, and like that's not
Yeah.
like that's not fun. Like, hey, can I try
You
on
don't like it.
your glasses? I don't know. Can I
You
wear
don't like
your
it.
hearing aids? It doesn't make sense. All right. And then that progresses into like, hey, let me buy you a couple drinks. Let's dance. And then that we're making out on the dance floor of a college bar, classic stuff. You know, she gives me her number, all this and that. I go home and I look her up her Instagram. All of her pictures are with a guy. And I'm like, you got to be. Joey Rinaldi's actually laughing in a different room after hearing that story. But I'll like, it just made me
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's true. He's a scumbag. Never mind. Let's forget about him.
I've never heard of that guy before in my life.
Joey's actually blasting the TV right now. Oh my God, what an inconsiderate person. This story was great.
I hate this guy. I don't know who he is, but I hate him.
But it made me feel like honestly, like I felt bad because it was a different guy. But like in your case, I had no idea. There was no inclination. She never said anything all night about it.
Yeah. You can't trust these women, dude.
Dude, I would be so heartbroken if my girlfriend made out with a guy on the dance
floor. Oh my God. I would. You know what? Actually, I'm trying to think. Have I? Oh yeah. When I was in high school, I was dating this girl, and we went to different New Year's Eve parties.
Oh no.
And she like made out with some other guys.
Plural.
Yeah, like 2 guys.
Dude,
yeah.
I like you said,
dude, I was heartbroken, dude.
I got a big heart. I think you do too. You have a tough exterior shell, Dan, but I think you got a big heart.
I'm a Pisces, man.
I don't know what that means.
Sensitive boy.
I don't know
what
that means.
I'm a sensitive boy.
Okay. I'm an Aries. What's that mean?
I have no idea. All I know is that I'm Pisces and I'm sensitive.
Yeah, I know half that's true. But the thing about going back and thinking about where you'd be with your relationships and stuff like that. Like I had one and I think about it now because we're in very different places in life. And I'm like, what if I wanted to live in suburban Pennsylvania and pop out a couple kids and just like, be a regular person that maybe liked his life? What if that was my life?
I think about that all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes like, because, we're at the age where our friends and people we grew up are starting to do that. Like this woman who I dated in high school who was, very kind to me and, making out with people I knew at another New Year's Eve party.
Right.
Really, really good person. She's now married to someone I was friends with in high school. They're married. They'll probably have kids soon. She'll probably cheat on him. She's probably already cheating on him. But like,
yeah.
I see shit like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Like all my friends in high school, they're all marrying each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all marrying, and that's what happens. That's just how it goes. But they're all marrying each other. They've all dated each other. They're all marrying each other.
Right.
It's like that's just the town that I'm from.
It's same.
I think you really gotta be into the other person,
dude.
I could not see myself getting married for a while, but it just in terms of like thinking of like where you'd be now, with the relationship, it's tough. I mean, like I can imagine. I mean, I dated that girl, then I've also dated a bunch of other girls, not a bunch, but like
nice
other people, like since her, and I'm like, I forget about her, but it's like some people just get married to the first person they date.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's scary, relationships are fire. People are scared, and I understand that. But like,
I gotta say this: when I did find out this girl that I was seeing, like, it was making out with other guys at like a party, I was like the most. I think about that time. You know what's funny is at the moment it really hurt, but I fantasize about the time right after that where I just got to be disheveled, depressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that first little heartbreak.
Yeah.
There's something kind of like nostalgic about it. And I'm like, I remember I'd just be driving around. I would show up to like friends' houses. I'm wearing like a zip up.
Yeah. You're listening to some really sad music.
No shirt underneath.
Really sad music in the car.
Really sad music. Just hair, fucked up. Just just looking like I'm going on like a bender. Like if I was any older, like I'd be like on a bender.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just like had like getting like divorced dad energy.
Oh, big time. You have nice
but
divorce
I'm
dad
like,
energy. I can see that.
I know I'm already a divorced dad.
You
like,
and Hunter
I'm moving
Biden.
into this,
You have very Hunter Biden energy.
well, I don't know how to accept that. Have I ever done crack? Have I ever smoked crack? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's on like that. He's on
have.
that like victory tour now with the book and everything. You'll be all right.
No, he'll be great. But a divorced dad energy, I definitely have it. Because I'm moving into this apartment, this 1-bedroom apartment, and I have no idea like what fucking furniture to get.
Yeah.
You know, like I bought a rug first.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I bought weed first, but then I bought a rug.
Yeah.
And then it took me like a week to get a couch because you can only wake up so many days and be like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to eat cereal standing up today. You know, so I'm just eating cereal standing up and in a 1-bedroom apartment that has no furniture, no decorations.
Dear God.
I feel like every like 25-year-old single guy moving into an apartment for the first time should be teamed up with a 55-year-old man whose wife just left him. Because like we need to be able to help each other out, like an Amazing Race, but it's just us and IKEA being like, what do we need? You know?
Yeah, dude. Moving's crazy, man. I was about willing to move to a third-rate city in Pennsylvania for abroad. What's up with me? You know?
I don't know, man. You should. What city in Pennsylvania?
Allentown. I lived there, but I was thinking about moving back.
I just moved into this apartment and I hate it. I hate where I live. I think I'm gonna move to another apartment. I've lived here for like a month, and I'm literally, after I get off this with you, I'm gonna go to the leasing office and I'm gonna say I want out.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate it.
Pound your fist on the table, give me the security deposit back, which I'm sure you've already lost by some random accident with the ceiling fan.
Oh, I'll lose the security. I'm gonna try to get the apartment sublet.
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
Now you're talking.
I can't break
business.
the lease. I can't break the lease a month in.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I've already started paying rent, but I do truly hate it here.
Does that mess with your credit? I don't know how credit works. It's all fake to me. But like, does that mess with your credit? Like, if you
it shouldn't
break
no.
the lease?
I mean, credit. I've paid everything on time. Like when you credit, you know, if you build your credit by having charges on your card and paying it on time or early.
Right.
You know, it's easy to fuck up your credit. That's the fucked up part about it.
Right.
It's like if you miss, your credit can drop much easier than it can go up.
Aren't credit scores?
But I have amazing
credit scores themselves only like, I don't know, like 50 years old or something like that. Isn't it all just a complete like sham?
Now that I can't speak on.
Let me look it up.
That you're asking for too much.
Well, I'm also like an idiot. Credit scores, the concept of credit scores started in 1989. Oh, so Reaganomics, people are just like, yeah, whatever, print more money. It doesn't matter. It's all fake.
Yep. Yeah. Do you have good credit? What's your credit like?
I don't know a number, but I know it's not bad. I know it's not bad. What's that?
My credit's fucking impeccable.
I can see that. Happening. Dude, I tell you who has great credit. Or the people that you and I went to high school with that got married immediately because they were the first person that they fell in love with, and they got married, and now they live their happy little lives, bro. I hate to keep like reverting back to that, but I do have one more thought on it. You know, like the term soulmates?
Yes.
Total lie, right?
It's for people who meet in Seoul, Korea.
Ah, okay. Well, never mind then. I can ask my dad about that. He'll probably know more about that.
That's true. He's been to Korea.
The term soulmates, it's like you see people that like, oh yeah, we're soulmates, and it's like you grew up 10 minutes down the road from each other, and you went to school together. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's 7 billion people on Earth, and like that's the one person that you happen to grow up in the same city as? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm trying to get. You ever hear that there's that Mac Miller line where it's, I'm just trying to grow up old and rich, maybe get married to a local bitch. You know, I don't call women bitches. This is a quote. This is just me reciting a quote. That's the life right there. That's the life. You know, because I'm Tampa girls. I'm from Tampa. You know, Tampa girls. They got a wild side to them.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
No doubt. They go a little crazy, but I need that. I need a little bit of flavor.
I don't think the
I
local
need a little
girls in
spice
West
in my
Virginia
life.
like me. I'm not their type.
What are they in, like the big burly, like Osama bin Laden looking
No,
types?
and it's not even that. It's not. You'd think like they love like I don't know if you're into country music at all and stuff like that. Like they're not really into like the Luke Combs type of guys, but they'll even like to get like the skinny guys like me, but as long as they got like that hat and they pack a big chaw and they wear like big camo boots and the creme de la creme of growing up in my hometown and the sign of the status symbol of when you make it is when you have a little pontoon boat and you can go out on the Ohio River, and that's like, oh wow, they're like the fanciest people in the city.
The Ohio River in West Virginia.
Yeah, that's like the big status symbol.
I mean, that's where they like hold like white trash seances.
Yeah.
That's like where people try to like bring back a trailer park.
There's actually a lost. There's actually a lost city. There's a lost city. It's like a white trash utopia, and it's like your Atlantis.
It's
our Atlantis, and it's underneath our city in Parkersburg, West Virginia. It's in the right where the Little Kanawha and the Ohio River meet. That's right where it is.
West Virginia's Atlantis is just like a place called like
Fuddruckers.
Riverview Estates, and it's like a trailer park that's like sunk to the bottom.
You're being too kind
Ohio
with the
River.
Estates thing. You're being too kind with the estates.
Well, it's always some ridiculous name called like the Riverview Estates, and it's a trailer park.
I could go through neighborhoods.
Doesn't West Virginia have the second largest trailer park in the United States?
I mean, that seems factual to me. Yeah. So that I got to think where that is. Okay, so that's not too far from me. Actually, the second you said in the world or in the
United States.
In the United States. Yeah, I'm sure
in the U.S. of A.
Yeah, that's right. Because those like favelas in Brazil are massive trailer parks. Those are probably the biggest in the world. But the ones, okay, so you're talking about Riverview.
Dude, if I lived in a trailer park, I would just tell people I live in a favela because people in the United States are so dumb. They'd be like, all right, good for him. Okay,
the term
favela guy.
They think that's like a new like microwavable cheese, like Velveeta. Oh,
favela.
Ooh.
You live in a favela. That's crazy. You must do well.
There's a place called like Highview Terrace. There's a place called like Wildwood. There's like all these little. There is an estates. There's a place called Bickle Estates, and so
I told you.
Yeah, but those homes actually decent, and all that. It's so crazy. You always hear stories about like 70s and people living in like steel towns and working. And I'm going to the mill. I'm going to here. And like in my home.
That's my family's background.
Oh, wow.
Steel.
Hardworking Irish people. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then for me, in my hometown, I'm working down at the plant because we have this DuPont plant at our hometown. And DuPont plant down at our hometown. And everybody works.
Maybe I'll watch Foxcatcher.
John DuPont.
See that movie?
John DuPont. Yeah.
That's a good ass movie.
Well, I tell you what you should watch on Netflix is, I don't know if we talked about this the last time you were on, but there's a documentary about my hometown called The Devil We Know on Netflix where DuPont had actually been poisoning our water supply for decades with chemicals. And then there's a movie about it with Mark Ruffalo and Anne Hathaway. I don't remember the name of it, but it's probably out there and it's okay, probably Oscar bait. But yeah, they were poisoning our water supply for decades. And I got this hush money from the government, and I bought a PlayStation with it.
You got hush money from the government?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, yeah.
How much?
Like $300-$400.
Dude, if I got $300-$400 right now, the first thing I'd buy would be like an Xbox or a PlayStation.
See? And I was in elementary school when it happened. I bought a PlayStation, and I bought like a WWE video game, and I played it for 2 weeks, never played it again.
No matter how old I am, I could be 75 years old. If you gave me $300-$400, I would buy a gaming system with it.
I need
and whatever the current 2K is.
I need the new Xbox. I can't find it anywhere.
I mean, you can't find it anywhere.
What do you
can't find it online?
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere, bro. I'm looking like
really.
Yeah,
it's that hard to find.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. I've been thinking about getting like a little Xbox situation.
I could,
I'm either gonna move from this apartment that I'm in now, or I'm just gonna game 24 hours a day and kill myself.
I tell you who's really happy with their lives in terms of content creators, streamers.
How do you know? How do you know they're happy with their lives? They're not happy with their
Look
lives,
at they get to play video games all day.
dude. Nobody's happy. Anybody who's online, at best, they're bored. At best, they're bored.
I think these
Nobody's
streaming guys are the
online because
happiest
they're
people.
happy.
I think the TikTokers are sad. I think the streamers are happy.
You know, Twitch streamers, they dox each other.
And they also swat each other. Like they'll call the SWAT
They
team.
swat each other. Yeah, the whole SWAT. What's happy and exciting about that?
I don't know, but
You got to be
I'm gonna
online
call
and
the
have like
SWAT
11-year-olds
I'm
call
calling the
you
SWAT
names
team
all day.
on the local improv. On the local improv team, I'm swatting them.
You should, as you should. More people should be swatted. I think that's a great idea, swatting the local improv team. I think that's amazing. The comedy community should adopt swatting. I mean, I guess they already kind of do because they cancel each other.
Yeah.
But like the streamers, I don't know, man. Playing video games 8 hours a day, that does not seem happy. No kid starts playing video games because he's happy. When you're looking for like a digital escape like that, you start forming like these unhealthy relationships with like animated characters,
Right.
and get like excited about a new game. Those people are like the least happy people on earth. The happiest people are actually probably the people who live in those mobile parks in West Virginia where they can't even afford Wi-Fi, so they don't know any better. They just walk around, like I did when I was 9, barefoot, eating grass. Those are the happiest years of my life.
You look back on those were fond memories.
Those were fun memories, the best times. That and when my high school girlfriend made out with my friends at a New Year's party.
And Dan, I'm sorry that I made out with her. It wasn't my fault. She was very aggressive.
No, she was an insane woman.
The thing is, I wish I were more dumb. I wish I were an idiot, because idiots enjoy life. They wander around aimlessly and they'll buy the next new big product, all the McRibs back again. Oh, I'm going to go here and try the new quesadilla, whatever is at Taco Bell. I'm trying.
The quesalupa.
Okay, whatever. And it's got extra.
Some goddamn respect.
It's got extra Cheeto cheese on it, and I can enjoy that. And, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to watch stupid stuff on TV today, like Cops, and just enjoy life. And I wish I were dumb. I wish I were dumb.
You can be dumb, man. Just quit now.
Just check out mentally.
I think I'm going to buy a mobile home in rural Pennsylvania and make friends with an Amish person.
Oh, I got a good. Okay, so we need to go to Lancaster.
Maybe infiltrate the Amish.
We need to go to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
It's actually Lancaster.
It's Lancaster.
You uncultured swine.
Did I sound really country when I said that?
You uncultured swine. I've been to Lancaster. My uncle lives in Lancaster.
Is your uncle Amish?
My entire family's Amish. I mean, it's an Amish Catholic family.
And we're back. I actually swatted Dan. The police have come and taken him away. And now he's back. He's made bond somehow, or bail, whatever the heck. I don't know how that works. But anyways, hey, so we were talking about your uncle in Lancaster, but I want to talk about how you're in Texas now and you miss New York, because I'm currently in New York, and you had a moment of nostalgia because an ambulance just went by, or a cop car just went by, actually, to track down a murderer, and you miss New York.
Yeah, man, I miss those sirens, dude. I mean, it's just the sounds of the city. I'm in Austin, Texas, which... Austin, I'm here for comedy. I'm not here to like run around barefoot, wearing like a cowboy hat and pretending like I'm Johnny Appleseed or some shit, which is like what half the population here like wants to be. I think Austin and Nashville are two of the most potentially I would say, I don't know, I was going to say overhyped, but I think misunderstood might be the right word to use as like a city.
I have
because
like
a lot
2
of people,
minutes about Nashville.
I'm sorry?
I have like 2 minutes about Nashville because it is Christian Girl Vegas.
Well, yes. It's Christian Girl Vegas. It's a bachelorette party town. And that's kind of what Austin's very similar. I mean, the food is great. The vibes are great. The people are nice, whatever. So you come here for like 2-3 days. You're like, oh my God, this is heaven. This is incredible. Like, this is what the people who go there, like go on these bachelorette parties, whatever bachelor parties say. They're like, this is incredible. But then you live here and it's like, I don't know, man. The downtown is kind of gross. There's a lot of like everyone looks like a GTA character. People are
Right.
wearing cloaks. It's the downtown area. They block off the streets, so it's just one big, massive party, which I don't fuck with. When it comes to like living in a place, it's fun to experience. I couldn't live like that part of downtown, but I like the I like a city feel. Like I don't want the streets to be blocked off so people can run around and get fucked up and the street before. I mean, it is kind of cool and exciting. There's a lot of crazy shit going down there, but I don't know. I like a little bit of order is not the right word, but I don't need a whole like, hey, we're gonna go get aimlessly blacked out every single night vibe for the place
Right.
I'm living in. You know what I mean?
Right.
I need a little bit of class. Like I'm not a classy guy, but like
New
give me
York,
like a
class,
Subway
class.
sandwich shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, class in New York, only in New York.
Yeah, I'm not a classy guy at all. I eat at Subway like 4 times a week. I'm a piece of shit. But like I like being able to sit outside and people watch and
Oh, yeah.
that type of shit. I can't
Oh,
do
yeah.
and like I can't do here. But who knows? Maybe if I moved back to New York, I'd be like, this sucks. It's horrible. I miss being able to eat vegan food truck food.
You just
I
being
don't
able
know.
to touch grass. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I
I've
used
been
to
to New
eat
York.
grass.
I've been in New York for like a week. I like it. I have no issues with it. I know people talk bad about it, but I haven't seen it at its worst. I haven't been here in January or February, and it's awful and it's horrible. And I haven't been here for that.
People there. I don't know. It's different. It's different with COVID shit. I've been a few times since I lived there for a few years, and then I was there at the beginning of COVID, then moved back to Florida after my lease ended. I'm from Florida, and I've been back a few times. The craziest shit is those outdoor eating venues. Like that'll never make sense. Like that'll be something we'll tell our kids about. Like, yeah, during COVID, they built these. You couldn't eat indoors unless you built your own indoors outside of your indoors on the street. It makes zero sense at all. But I have fond memories there. You see a lot of cool things. I saw 2 homeless people having sex
Oh, that's cute.
outside there.
That's New York romance,
One
baby.
time. It was it was a beautiful moment. I heard like the sound as I was taking my trash out one night, and I turned to the right, and I saw 2 things. I saw an ass and the whites of someone's eyes, and I ran inside like I witnessed a murder. It was just 2 homeless people going at it. I mean, I assume they're home. I don't want to assume anything, but like it's midnight on like a Tuesday.
I don't know.
You have apartments,
Those were actually artists. You were in Brooklyn, and those were artists.
Yeah, those. I was interrupting a live performance.
That was an art piece, and you ruined it.
That was an art. See, that's the thing. Like in Austin, that like would happen. It's kind of got that same bullshit Brooklyn like gentrified energy in some parts where it's like this is like so weird, and we're like in a Peloton store. Like, isn't this like such a unique like space? And when like a Neiman Marcus, they're like, I love this cafe. What is it called? Starbucks. It's like none of it. It's all just kind of there's a lot of that energy.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the authentic parts, but there's a lot of the bullshit too.
Man.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's interesting so far.
Well, I hope you get back up here in New York and you hate yourself up here as opposed to hating yourself in Texas.
I'm gonna hate myself anywhere, which is a good point. So I might as well do it in a place that I could appreciate.
I hope you hate yourself here, and I hope to see you up here, which means I hope that I get the job that I had an interview with the other day, and we'll make some more content, man. But it's always a pleasure having you around, and go ahead and plug whatever you need to plug, my friend.
I appreciate you, man. You could follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Dan Carney.
Yep.
That's all you need to know.
He's got 10K on Instagram now, which means he can do the patented swipe up.
Yeah, I made it.
I'm very envious. I might buy bot followers just so I can say swipe up for tickets.
Yeah, man. This is it's the dream, dude. I've hit the dream. I can do a swipe up so people can donate to my bail fund.
Oh, thanks for coming on, Dan, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and hope the best. I'll see you around. In the meantime, follow me Twitter, Instagram, Franco's World _. Check out the show, tell your friends about it, all that stuff. And I hope you all have a great day. See ya.